Hello, Degens. Good morning, and welcome to Brofect Sports Talk. I, of course, am the Brofect one, AJ. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. However you may be doing it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and help us grow. But hey, we got a big weekend this weekend. Obviously, college football is all the way back with an epic week one. NFL right around the corner. You got crazy stuff going on. NFL this week. Week one, finally, it's about time. And I'm beyond excited. It was an awesome weekend being able to sit on the couch and watch football again. I ain't going to lie to anybody. There was nothing better than this weekend. Opening up a 12-pack, sitting on that couch, and knowing that for the next 12 hours of my Saturday, I am going to be sitting there and watching college football all damn day and all damn night. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, and obviously, as you could see on the screen, we're going to talk about LSU first. AJ, bro, why are we talking about LSU first? Why don't you want to talk about your Wildcats? Why don't you want to talk about ASU? Because I want to talk about the absolute snake that is Brian Kelley. LSU played this weekend. They played FSU. They lost 24-23 off of a blocked field goal. That's right. They marched all the way down there in the last 30 seconds, kicked a field goal, and it was blocked at the end to not be able to tie it up and send it into overtime. Now, bro, you're probably saying, bro, why is this such a big deal? Because LSU just looked to be in dismay. Just absolute and utter wreck of a program. I mean, you should have known this. You all should have known this, especially seeing Brian Kelley leave Notre Dame last year while they were in the hunt. They were in the playoff hunt last year, and he said, no, F this, I'm going down to LSU, go Tigers. And I'm going to coach football. I don't give a shit if we're almost in the college football playoffs. I don't give a shit how well we're doing. I am going down to LSU, and I'm going to make a difference. Well, bro, Brian Kelley, the man with 1,000 voices, I'm here to tell you right now that you did not make the right decision. There ain't no chance in hell you made the right decision. Because how do you lose to FSU? How? How do you lose to the Seminoles? Because, don't get me wrong, FSU played strong. They got Jordan Travis. He went 20 for 33, 260 yards, 2 tutties. Not bad. And for LSU, you got Jaden Daniels, ASU transfer, who went 26 for 35, 209 yards, 2 tutties with an 84.3 QBR. Quarterback play wasn't bad. The offense wasn't bad whatsoever. However, it just seems to be that it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And what do you expect from a guy like Brian Kelley? A guy like Brian Kelley who likes to leave at the earliest convenience. The guy who can't stand losing. The guy who just doesn't figure it out. I'm not saying in the long run this isn't going to be a good move for LSU. However, it's not starting off great. It's not. And as a college football fan, as an anti-Brian Kelley person, I got to shout out LSU and the absolutely abysmal season they are going to have. AJ, why are they going to have an abysmal season? They're not as bad as Scott Frost and Nebraska. No shit. No one's as bad as that. Brian Kelley might be an idiot, but he would not call a onside kick in the third quarter up 11. He wouldn't. This is going to be a fun program to watch. Who does LSU have next week? Let me check that out real quick. LSU's got to have a solid opponent next week. LSU, oh no, they got an easy one. They're playing Southern U. Now, which Southern, which U, who fucking knows? But they're playing them at home. The Southern Jaguars, I don't even know where they're from. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That game's going to be on Saturday. LSU probably going to win that game. And shout out, the first win of the season against a no-name opponent. Damn, LSU. I hate to see where your football has come. I really do. Y'all used to be a solid team. Y'all used to go with it. But, hey, it's whatever it is. Let's move around college football a little bit more. Let's talk about Oregon. Let's talk about Oregon and the absolute mess that offense is. Because let me tell you something. Bo Nix ain't it. No. Bo Nix ain't it. People tried to convince us last season Bo Nix was one of the best quarterbacks in college football at Auburn. And to every person that said that Bo Nix was a decent quarterback and everything, you are wrong. You're dead wrong. Because as someone who watches a lot of football, I can't see it with Bo Nix. I really can't. And you want to know why I can't see it with Bo Nix? Because last season, Noah and I, my co-host on Degenerate Takes, he and I came out and we decided, let's go ahead and let's fade Bo Nix whenever he's on the road, because this guy cannot get a win at home. And sure enough, what do you know? He still can't do it at Oregon. He can't. He can't do it. Oregon losing to Georgia 3-49. 49, and that is after Georgia loses loses 5 draft picks to the NFL draft on the defensive side of the ball, but they don't look to have missed a single beat. Bo Nix going 21 for 37, 173 yards, and 2 interceptions. Not 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Bo Nix is not the guy. I'm going to tell you right that. And then, Bo Nix can run. 8 carries, 37 yards. Longest rush was 9 yards. Couldn't even get a first down. I mean, let me just say this right here, right now. Oregon ain't shit. They're number 11 right now. I don't think the AP, let me see if the AP has updated it, but they were number 11. Number 11 going into this season in the power rankings. How? I'm so sorry. How is any Pac-12 team in the top 10? How? Bo Nix? Really? Because it sure as hell isn't their head coach, Dan Lanning. I'm flabbergasted. I really am. Oregon didn't look good at all. Oregon doesn't look good at all. Bo Nix sure as hell is not the answer there in Oregon. He's not. And then you want to even talk more. Georgia's defense looked like it didn't miss a step. It looked like it didn't miss any of the top 5 draft picks in the first round of the NFL draft from their defense. Georgia, we might be looking at a actual competitor to Alabama's reign. We might. I'm being dead serious. I'm not saying Alabama, and we'll talk about Alabama in a little bit. But Georgia looks good. Georgia looks like a team that's ready to go back-to-back. I'm not saying they're going back-to-back. I'm still saying Ohio State's winning the whole thing. C.J. Stroud's still winning the Heisman. We'll get to them in a little bit. But, yeah, just absolutely miserable for Oregon. And then Georgia's offense also obviously looked incredible, going 49 points. Stetson Bennett, 25 for 31, 368 yards, 2 tutties, a 97.3 QBR. That is a quarterback who is ready to go in the NFL. That is a quarterback who is ready to make improvements and ready to help his team try to go back-to-back. I love this Georgia team at number 3. I really do. They should be number 2 if it wasn't for Ohio State in front of them, if it wasn't for Alabama beating Utah State. Georgia's next game is Samford. Not Stanford, Samford on Saturday. Another easy win. They got South Carolina next, Kent State, Missouri, Auburn. I mean, I'm looking at this schedule and thinking they might have an issue against against Florida. They might have an issue against Tennessee if they can keep going. But if not, Georgia's looking at an undefeated season and a walk, and I mean an absolute walk into the college football playoff this season. It'll be interesting to see if they fall, when they fall, but I'm not seeing they fall. especially after beating Oregon the way they did. An absolute beatdown of a top 15 team. Absolute beatdown, nothing less. Let's talk about Alabama. Let's go ahead and talk about the number one team in college football. They should be the number one team in college football. I want to make that very clear right now before we get any further. Alabama should be number one in college football. Why? Look at their draft class. Look at what they did. They still got Bryce Young. Heisman candidate yet again. 18 for 28, 195 yards, 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns off 195 yards throwing. 96 QBR. I mean, listen, I hate Alabama. I absolutely hate Alabama. I hate Alabama so much. And I hate what they do every year. I do. I really do. And I hate that Nick Saban has the cushiest job in all of football, just standing there, getting all these D1 recruits, 5-star recruits, all of these 4.3 40s, all of it. I hate it. And this is someone who got to see Alabama play Texas A&M in Tuscaloosa. It was a great experience. Shout out to Alabama fans. But it's time for someone else to come up. It's time. Because Nick Saban just signed another contract through 2030, I believe, or 2035. Something that essentially guarantees until he's 70 he can be a head football coach. Which is great. Which is fine. He is an excellent football coach. I don't want to take that away from anyone. But it's just like watching the Yankees dominate and do well every year. It's just like watching the Dodgers dominate and do well every year. We get it. We get it. Y'all have had the money. Y'all have had the NIL a lot longer than anybody else. And it shows. But hey, even playing field now. Is anyone else looking for anyone else looking for Brian Kelley going up against? I'm sorry, excuse me, not Brian Kelley. Who was the A&M coach? No, Lane Kiffin. That's who it was. No, A&M. It was A&M. It was definitely A&M. Yeah, I'm sorry. Alabama. Nick Saban obviously going in on A&M for all of the NIL deals signed, having the number one recruiting class due to the NIL. And yeah, they're worried. They should be worried. Did you see Georgia this weekend? I mean, that's all I got to say. You see Georgia this weekend. You see Ohio State this weekend. They should be worried. NIL has leveled the playing field when it comes to college football. Absolutely has. You have Alabama worried. You got Ohio State looking good. You got Georgia looking good. You got all these teams looking good. A&M looked fucking great. But just not in the cards. I don't think it's in the cards this year for Alabama. I know Nick Saban came out and said it was a rebuilding year last year. Yeah, I think you're still rebuilding, bro. 55-0 beating Utah State. Congratulations. Congratulations. My high school team could have beaten Utah State 55-0. Not a win. And then they got Texas this weekend coming up. If any of you are sports gamblers out there and you're watching this podcast, I assume you are. Alabama's a 20-point favorite going into Texas. I hate betting on Alabama. I hate it, especially taking these huge spreads, these absolutely just ridiculous, huge spreads. But you're telling me I'm getting 20 points against a shitty Texas team? Yeah, that's right, you heard me. Texas ain't back. Texas ain't close to back. There ain't no shot Texas is back. They can't even get in the top 25. They beat UL Monroe last week 52-10. Whatever. Who are they? No one knows. They got Alabama, and then they got the UTSA Roadrunners, meet motherfucker, coming up, who looked hot. They looked hot this weekend. Big fan of UTSA Roadrunners and what they're doing there. And, yeah, Texas ain't got it. Texas ain't got it. Texas is not back. Alabama will kick their ass with a 20-point spread. I love it. I love it. I want to talk about one more team in college football. And no, it's not my U of A Wildcats, who won their first game in San Diego State. Wildcats are winning the Pac-12. I want to talk about Wake Forest and the Demon Degens. Wake Forest beating NMI 44-10. They're back. In case you're wondering, they're back. They got a quarterback in Mitch Griffin. He went 21 for 28, 288 yards, 3 tutties, and 51 and a half I'm sorry, excuse me. 51.1. Oh, that's his QB. No, that's wrong. I don't know what I wrote, but he looked damn good, and Wake Forest looks good, coming all the way back. Who do they have next week? I'm glad you asked. They got Vandy at Vanderbilt. Pfft, call it a day. Call it a day. I obviously will come at you with college betting later this week with my co-host Noah, the Money Train Noah. If you want some good picks, if you're a gambler and want some good picks for the day, you want some guidance, you follow him at Engel Money Train. You do it, because the man just hands out heaters. Absolute heaters. Now, changing it up a bit before we talk about NFL Week 1, we got LIV Golf that happened this weekend, the LIV Golf Boston Invitational. And hold on, I need a drink. Still early out here in Arizona. What do you want me to do? LIV Golf Boston. Dustin Johnson comes out big, like I said so on my last podcast when I covered LIV Golf and all the betting and everything. DJ wins it with an eagle on the last hole. What a shot. It was a hell of a shot. If you have not seen that shot yet, go and check out his eagle putt at the end of LIV Golf Boston. It was a hell of a shot to go ahead and win it. With that being said, the LIV Golf also on the 31st of August released how they handle ties and everything like that. And as someone who has followed LIV Golf since the start, I gotta say it's one of the more confusing fucking things I've seen in my life. Has to do with how you played the whole tournament. They don't go into a sudden death. They don't do anything like that. Nothing exciting. And that's where I think LIV Golf's missing out. I understand trying to go ahead and move the game and grow the game and make it different than what it has been or what it was. But sudden death golf, how can you get rid of sudden death golf? I'm being dead serious. No answers? Exactly. You can't. You can't do it. You just can't. It is some of the most exciting golf that happens when there's a sudden death. But if there's a tie, no, let's go to the scorecard. Let's just wrap it up as fast as possible. And that's where LIV's missing it. That's where LIV is missing it. Because what people like, what people truly like, and you can see it in the PGA numbers. When they go to a playoff, when there's a last hole and there's a tie, numbers go up. People like having that adrenaline rush of, oh shit, anything can happen here and anything can happen right now. And LIV takes that away from you. It does. They don't do it. They go off of scorecards, how you played your last nine, how you played the front nine, how you played the back nine in order to get the score. I'm over it. Another big controversy coming out of LIV Golf, they're allowed to wear shorts. LIV golfers are allowed to wear shorts, which shout out, as an absolute degenerate myself who lives in Arizona and plays golf in Arizona, all I do is wear shorts. I can't stand the miserable pricks who wear pants out here in Arizona. I don't give a shit how nice the course is. It's 125 degrees and we're trying to play some golf. I'm gonna wear some shorts. What the hell? Oh, sorry. Gotta read my notes. But I'm all about the shorts. I hate the overtime. And I do just want to say, the golfers who switched to LIV this week, you're talking about the Neiman, you're talking about Cam Smith, you're talking about Answer. They all played extremely well. All played extremely well and finally left their stamp on it. They really did. I mean, Joaquin Neiman tied for second at -15, and with the whole bullshit tiebreaker, yeah, he gets tied for second there. Cam Smith, he tied for fourth at -14, and Answer at eighth, -11. Anyone who thought they were going to see a drop-off in any player's performance is just dead wrong. All right, simple as that. I don't give a shit if they're already paid. I don't give a shit what happens. I don't care what the contract looks like. People who are good at golf that come to LIV are just going to be good at golf. It's as simple as that. It truly is, and I hate to say it. For all of you LIV haters out there, I know you're pissed off that I'm saying it. It's a good product. It's a good product with good golfers. Now, obviously, all of that will change when the PGA and Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy come out with their TGL, Monday Night Golf, and all of that, the arena thing. You can go ahead and check out a previous video we did of that. Just make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel in order to stay up to date on all things. But yeah, they played well, and they're going to continue to play well. LIV Golf's next tournament is the next week, I believe, and so that one is in Chicago. We'll take a look at that, as that will be week 2 of the NFL. And everyone's thinking, why is LIV continuing to hold events during NFL? That's a dead period in sports. Golf especially, should not be going up against the NFL. Why not? Why not? Golf is the perfect sport to put on in the background. Everyone knows that. And so what? I'm going to have all my TV set on NFL games. Who says I don't on my phone or on my laptop or whatever have YouTube pulled up and have LIV Golf up there? I'm probably going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. I like golf on Sundays. What can fucking sue me? Seriously, sue me. I love golf on Sundays. And so if I get to continue to get golf on Sundays, I'm going to be happy about it. Sorry about it. Let's talk NFL Week 1. It's back, baby. Oh, it's back. I woke up different this morning knowing that I could talk about the NFL with meaningful football coming to us this Thursday with the Bills and the Rams, the Super Bowl favorite going up against the Super Bowl champs. Noah and I will have our NFL best bets coming up later this week. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss it. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a weekend. Some matchups to watch out for. Like I said, Buffalo Bills and the Rams will be a great way to start off the season. Another one I'm looking at with 2 very young quarterbacks and one team that's obviously a shit ton better than the other. San Francisco 49ers go into Soldier Field in Chicago to take on the Bears. Both teams going with a quarterback that they don't know how he's going to perform. They don't. If the 49ers knew how Trey Lance was going to perform, they wouldn't have Jimmy G on the roster still. Sorry about it. They wouldn't. No shot. But yet, here we are with Jimmy G still on the roster for the 49ers. And it is going to be hard. Not for the coaching staff, not for the people making the decisions, but for the teammates to go ahead and sit by and watch Trey Lance throw 5 picks in a game and not look and be like, well, where the hell is Jimmy? Let's get Jimmy in there. I really think we're going to have a situation this year like we saw with the Dolphins 2 years ago with Tua and Matt Fitzpatrick. Tua comes in, plays 3 quarters, and then you need Matt Fitzpatrick come in and close the deal. I really think we might be running into a situation like that, especially if the 49ers start off slow. Especially if they start off slow. They're going up against a Chicago Bears team that is absolutely depleted. Absolutely depleted. They have no one on their roster. If they can't win that game with Trey Lance, they're in trouble. And it might not be Trey's year. I'm sorry, it might not. Let's keep it moving. Browns-Panthers. Obviously, that's a matchup that we're all looking at. Baker Mayfield, with his new team, beating out Sam Darnold for the starting position, going up against Jacoby Brissett and the Browns, the team that absolutely screwed him this offseason. No ifs, ands, or buts, just absolutely screwed him. There was a quote that came out that Baker later did, deny that ever occurred, where he said he was going to fuck up the Browns. Yeah, Baker, I'm sure you didn't say that. I'm sure. You're going to fuck him up, though. You're going to. That's a revenge game, and I'll give you that pick right now. 2.5-point spread with Carolina. Give me the 2.5. And honestly, I'll take an alternate line at 6.5. Because this is going to be a 1-touchdown game, if not 2. The Panthers are going to do whatever they can. Baker Mayfield is going to do whatever he can in order to embarrass the Browns. Embarrass them. Let's talk about the game I'm not looking forward to, and that's Chiefs coming to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Fuck. I mean, shit, dude. That is a terrible matchup to start out our season. Kyler Murray, obviously, getting the bag, getting his buddy Marquise Brown to come over. Whatever, dude. Whatever, Kyler. I'm still not convinced you're worth the money. I'm not. Absolutely not. After an abysmal training camp, after all of the bullshit, I'm not convinced you're worth the $245 million we signed you for. I'm really not. 165 guaranteed? Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. Lamar Jackson, who's won an MVP, okay? Who's won games in the playoffs, okay? Who's a better running quarterback than you, okay? He hasn't signed a contract yet. He's Jay chillin'. He's on the last year of his deal. Kyler Murray got re-upped a year before his last. No. I hate it. I hate it. 4.5 point spread, I hate it even more. How can I root for the Cardinals right now? I wish I could. I really do, because last season, the first 6 games were unbelievable. First 11 games were unbelievable. And then you got Cliff Kingsbury going ahead and throwing the whole thing away. Kyler Murray getting double XP on Call of Duty. I love the Cardinals. I love my Arizona Cardinals, but this is not a season I'm excited for. It's not. D-Hop out 6 games. Marquise Brown being our number 1. Fuck. Not a good look. Last little bit. Steelers. Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers going into their first season without Big Ben. Still got Tomlin, still have that unbelievable defense led by TJ Watt. They named Trubisky captain. Not only do they name him a captain, they name him the starting quarterback, which I think is such a smart move by the Steelers. Everyone that has seen Kenny Pickett play in the preseason, in practice, everything, they know he is the guy. He is the future of the Steelers. But the future is not now for the Steelers. It's just not. All right? Trubisky is a good enough quarterback with the offensive weapons given to make sure the Steelers have another winning season. Because let's be real, this team, no one is going to talk about the offense. No one. We're going to have to because of Trubisky and because it's an offensive league and everything. But this team is going to be a defensive team. That's how they're going to win games. Simple as that. Simple as that. You know, don't get me wrong. Trubisky may come in clutch in a couple games and do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. But at the heart of it, the Steelers are going to be the team. The Steelers are going to win games because of their defense, not because of their offense. They're going up against the Bengals week 1 in Cincinnati. That'll be a hell of a game. Can't wait to handicap that one. But yeah. Shit. I'm excited for this. Football's all the way back, ladies and gentlemen. Degens, football is all the way back. If you are not spending your Tuesday morning at work putting together or cooking up your parlays for the weekend, I don't know what you're doing. I don't. I really don't. If you're not double-checking your fantasy lineup, I don't know what you're doing. Which, by the way, Steelers defense is probably my lock for the best defense in fantasy football this year. I wouldn't draft Trubisky if I had a gun to my head. But I would take that Steelers defense late in the rounds and just get a good D. Get a good defense going into the season. Because that's going to win you games. That's 10 easy points, 20 easy points. All day, every day. Well, with one season starting, we got another season coming to a close, and that being the Major League Baseball. And let's go into it a little bit. Yankees obviously still ahead in the AL. Oh my God, they're too good. Aaron Judge hitting the bombs. He just hit one, actually. Did you hear that? Aaron Judge just hit another home run. Shout out. He is on his way to 60. Albert Pujols still fighting to get to 600 or 500, excuse me. He might do it. But yeah, I mean, you got the Yankees in the East. You got the Guardians 1 game up in the Central with the Twins biting on the heels. Houston Astros in the West, up 11 games. New York Mets in the NL East, up 1 game on the Braves. And that's a team that everyone is hyped on. That's a team that everyone thinks they're going to win the World Series. Nah. Nah. I know Edwin Diaz has the dopest walkout in a long time with Timmy Trumpets and Narcos and everything, but besides that hype, they're a good ball club. They ain't winning the whole thing, though. Not happening. Neither are the Cardinals. 7.5 games up in the Central. Dodgers sure as hell aren't doing it. 19 games up in the West. If you're asking me for my World Series pick, I can't give you one right now. I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I could say it was the Yankees. I wish I could say it was the Mets. I wish I could say it was someone else, but I don't know yet. I like the Braves a lot. I really like the Braves. I'm not going to lie. Blue Jays, if they can fuck around and get in there. The Mariners, if they can fuck around and get in there. They're a young team. They're a young squad. They don't know how bad they're supposed to be, so they're just killing it. Listen. I'm going to say it again. Whenever I talk about baseball, I got to say it. Got to make the game more exciting. I'm a baseball guy. I played baseball for 12 years. I love following the sport. I love the nuances of the game and everything. But for the casual fan, you need more action. And how do you get more action? You get hits. All right? Don't change the ball. Don't change anything the pitchers are doing. Make the barrel bigger. Make the barrel bigger. Make it a 36 like we do in high school and college. I don't understand why all of a sudden you get to the MLB and the bat's smaller. We haven't played with a bat that small since fucking T-ball. All right? Let's make the bat bigger. Let's make the ball bigger. Let's make something bigger. Or let the boys eat all the steroids. What? Is someone actually going to come after me for saying that? No. Let the boys eat the steroids if they want to. Do it with a doctor. Make it healthy. Make it safe. Let the boys eat the steroids if they want to in the MLB. I want my dingers. I love my dingers. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. But yeah, I mean, no football on tonight because it's a Tuesday and we had 5 straight days of football. We're going to have another 5 straight days of football this week. Unbelievable. Again, if you want all of our betting and everything like that, please make sure you're like, shared, and subscribed to the channel. Check out everything in the description, too. Follow us on the socials, at Brofect1 for myself, at Degens Takes for the show, my buddy Noah at Engel Money Train for all of the best picks. My man is on a heater for the decades. He's killing it. So you got to go ahead, follow him there. Follow me, follow this show, follow us all, and we will have all the more degenerate takes with you. And that's all I got today. That's all I got right now this morning. This beautiful September the 6th, 2022. That's all I got today. I'm sure more will come around. We'll figure it out. And with any news update, any breaking news, you got to make sure you're subscribed to the channel to get the most degenerate takes possible coming out of that news. And with that being said, I will be live again tomorrow at 6:45 with Brofect Sports Talk with the Brofect One. I appreciate you for listening. Appreciate you for watching. And with that being said, I've been the Brofect One AJ, and we'll see you next time on Brofect Sports Talk.